days or weeks and months, every cell in your body is renewed. Stuff is just renewed. It's changing. It's changing. Life is change. Growth is optional. Choose well. May I remind you of this? You will be the same in 10 years except for the books that you read, the people that you meet, and the experiences that you have. You'll be the same 10 years down the road from now except for the books that you read, the people that you meet, and the experiences that you have. And just think, what am I reading now to help transform my mind? You have to be very careful about what you're putting before your eyes and what your children are putting before their eyes, because you'll be the same in 10 years from now except for the books that you read, whatever you put before you to educate your mind, or the people that you meet, the kind of folks that you're hanging around, and then the experiences that you have. Exposure changes you. The experiences that you have change you. You will be the same in 10 years from now except for the books you read, the people that you meet, and the experiences that you have. My question to you is, what are you waiting for in order to change? What are you waiting for? You got the power to change. You have the power to change. What are you waiting for in order to change? Gandhi said it this way: be the change that you wish to see in the world. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Let it start with you. Let it start with you. You know the song that says, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. You ought to start it, make it personal to your own home and say, let there be peace on earth, peace in my house, and let it begin with me. And here's the first key to having the peace. If you hold your peace, you'll keep your peace. Stop fussing and complaining and arguing and, mealy-mouthing about everything that could go wrong and would go wrong and does go wrong. If you want to keep your peace, hold your peace. Hold your peace. Hold your peace. Hold your peace. But what are you waiting for in order to change? What are you waiting for in order to change? Here's what I want you to realize. You remember Job? In Job chapter 14 and verse 14, notice what Job said. If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time, notice what Job said, I will wait till my change come. So Job said, I'm going to wait on my change. And see, we're making that same mistake today. We're waiting on the change. Job made a mistake, waiting on the change. All the days of my chapter 14 and verse 14, notice what Job said. If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time, notice what Job said, I will wait till my change come. So Job said, I'm going to wait on my change. And see, we're making that same mistake today. We're waiting on the change. Job made a mistake, waiting on the change. All the days of my appointed time, he says, will I wait till my change come? You got the power to change. You have the power to change. You have the power to change. Job was waiting on God to change things for him, and God was waiting on Job to change. God was waiting on Job to change. And I want you to think about this. Job's situation didn't change until Job changed. Job's friends didn't change, only Job changed. Notice Job chapter 42 and verse 10 at the end of the story. And the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Not when his friends changed, but when Job prayed for his friends. And also the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. God turned his captivity when he stopped hating on his haters. And when he prayed for them, when Job changed, when Job said, I'm going to be the bigger person, when Job said, I'm going to be the one that will initiate the step toward reconciliation in the relationship, the Lord turned the captivity of Job when Job changed, when he prayed for his friends. Then the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. Touch your neighbor, said, God's going to give you double for your trouble. But that's only if you keep your attitude right. You got power to change. 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 If you don't like something about yourself, you can generally change it. Whatever you don't like, you can change your eye color, you can change your hair color, you can change the color of your nails, you can change the length of your hair, the texture of your hair, you can change whatever, you can change it. You don't like your size, you can change it. You don't like your lashes, you can change it. You know what I mean? Whatever, you can change your voice. Hey, what it is, how you do? Oh, hey, kid, how you doing? You can change whatever about yourself that you don't like. You can change. You got power to change. Power to change, power to change. So whatever you don't like about your life, realize you've got power to change it. I know people who have the power to change their life and they complain about it. So a man was going to work every day and, he was complaining. He looked at his friends and they were bringing out lasagna and all kind of, shrimp etouffee and, crawfish etouffee for lunch. They're working at a construction site and this man bringing the same bologna sandwich every day. And he'd just watch his friends just drooling over their scrumptious meals that they had. And, and they're just lusting over, just mouth hanging open. And all of a sudden, the guy noticed him looking at his food, lusting at his food. And he says, man, why don't you have your wife to fix you something different? Because he noticed the man eating the same bologna sandwich every day. A little bag of potato chips. And the man said, I fixed my own lunch. Well, now he had the power to change his lunch. And he chose to fix the same bologna sandwich every day. And yet he wanted to complain about it and lust after somebody else's when he had the power to fix whatever kind of sandwich he wanted, whatever kind of meal that he wanted. Did you know that psychologists have found that whenever you are in a bad mood, you can feel better by simply forcing yourself to smile? By just forcing yourself to smile. Let's practice that right now. You can improve your mood just by forcing yourself to smile, even when you don't feel like it. Because you think about some crazy stuff that somebody that's related to you is doing, and it doesn't always make you smile, but you can improve your mood immediately by forcing yourself to smile. You have the power to change. You have the power to change. And listen, if you can't change it, change your attitude towards it. Whatever you can't change your attitude toward it. Change your perspective. Change how you think about it. Just change it. And I want you to realize this. Awareness is the beginning of change. Awareness is the beginning of change. Whenever you're going to change something, you have to be aware that this needs to change and that I have something that I can change too. But when you realize that there's a need to change, do it quickly. Don't wait. Whenever you realize that there is a need to change, do it quickly. Do it quickly. Be the first to apologize. Be the first to forgive. Be the first to forget. You know why? Because the first to apologize is the bravest. And the first to forgive is the strongest. And the first to forget is the happiest. Isn't that amazing? The happiest person in the marriage is the first one to forget. Because they're not holding on to a painful memory. The happiest one. They're not holding on to the memory of who all hurt them. They are intentionally forgetting. The happiest one is the first one to forget. And while change is a great constant in life, because life is lived in flux. Life is constantly changing. It is constantly changing. The same waters never touch your feet. Never. So, different waters always. Life is in constant flow. It's in flux. It's like a river that passes over you, and that same water never passes the same way twice. Because life is full of change. But in the midst of a world that is changing so rapidly, that's why you always have to have anchors in your life, so that while your world is going in craziness, that your life is anchored to things that don't change. So while you're docked there, you got to be anchored to something that is not subject